Israel rescued 4 of its hostages from Gaza. And this is a genuinely remarkable story. And the Wall Street Journal today has details on it. How Israel saved a hostage rescue mission that nearly failed. That is the Wall Street Journal headline. I read from the Carrie Keller-Lynn, Abir Ayub, and Michael Amon story. The 2 Israeli commando teams had just pulled off a historic rescue mission, freeing 4 hostages from homes where they were held captive in central Gaza. Now came the hardest part, getting out of Gaza alive. A shootout that started Saturday in one of the homes expanded into a full-on gun battle on the packed streets of Nusayrat. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a refugee camp. Between the commandos and responding Israeli forces and militants. That would be terrorists in ordinary speech. The Israeli military said. With the covert team's cover blown, the Israeli Air Force began striking dozens of militant terrorist targets in a bid to divert the terrorist Hamas attention. I'm adding terrorists in there to remind you we're talking about terrorists. And give the hostages a fighting chance to get out. In the crossfire, a vehicle packed with special forces and hostages was hit and disabled, said David Seward, a former commander of Yamam, the Israeli police team that carried out the extraction. An Israeli armored vehicle then swooped in to rescue the rescuers, but it was too disabled. It was also disabled by fire. So another force arrived to deliver the hostages to helicopters waiting to take them to Israel, reported Army Radio, an independent news organization run by the Israeli military. Quote, there's a thin line between being a huge success and a huge failure, said an Israeli military official. And it goes on at great length. You should subscribe to the Wall Street Journal. It's a good newspaper. And the details in the Times of Israel have been extraordinary. And the courage of these people, the nerve, and I mean just the ability to stay steady and on mission. I mean, we watch Fauda, at least I watch Fauda, all 4 seasons of it, and it's about Yamam. And the sequences make you sit on the edge of your couch, but you also disassociate it from reality. And this isn't the SEALs going in for Osama bin Laden. It's much, much, much more difficult, though that was a very difficult and dangerous mission. And our special operators, Army, Navy, Marine Corps, Air Force, do extraordinary things, too. This is up there with Entebbe. And we hear from the terrorists that a lot of civilians were killed, and I do not doubt that, and I grieve for those who are innocent. But there is no responsibility on Israel's side. They went in, they found, they got, they were trying to get out, and they were fired upon, and a battle broke out, and then Israel responded to the escalation because the Hamas killers were going to kill a lot of Gazans in order to kill the Israelis. That didn't work. They killed one Israeli who has now been declared a, quote, hero of Israel, Arnon Zmora. Hero of Israel. That is a extraordinary title to bestow. His wife eulogized him yesterday, a sweet man full of laughter, sensitivity, and compassion, a hero. And he will be greatly missed by everyone who knew him. But it was a much-needed rescue for the hostages, for the hostage families, for all of Israel.